Hey everyone, Chris, aka Dirty Blonde DeLorean here with another quick toy photography vlog. It is Monday. It is the first real day of the school year for my children. So I'm leaving soon to pick up my daughter from school. And after school, she has piano lessons, which means I have about 30 minutes to squeeze in a quick toy photography session. So I thought I'd head over to Central Park to do it. And to make it quick, make sure I am quick, I'm only bringing one figure, this awesome Dwarf Legion builder I just got from Mythic Legions. He is really cool. I love the detail on him. I wish I had some more time to maybe do some weathering and paint the dots and other things on him to make him look a little more a little more unique as a Legion builder. Don't have time though. I still think I can get some great shots in Central Park, and I need a dwarf shot for an upcoming video. So that's what I'm gonna do, and let's see what we can get. All right, so I figure I should go over what's in the bag real quick before I go shooting. I have this Peak Travel everyday bag that I use for work, that I'm also using as a camera bag. So let's go see what's in there. All right. Ow. Behind the camera strap is my camera, Canon EOS RP. And this bag is the figure. You can barely see him. There he is right there. Dwarven Legion builder. And really, that's really all I brought. This is some just random tech stuff, but that's all I got in the bag right now. I wish I had brought my mini phone tripod so I could film this a little better, but oh well. Anyway, let's go find something. Uh, I was walking along and I found this rock, and the sun came out, and I think I'm gonna get some nice backlit shots. The dwarf right here. The wind keeps blowing them down, so I should actually be shooting instead of filming this. So let me go to that and let's see how it turns out. All right, headed back now from Central Park. Luckily, my daughter's class is like one block away from Central Park. I only had time to do one shot because their class does not last that long for me to be wandering around looking for multiple shot locations, but I think it turned out pretty good. We'll see how it comes out in the final edit, and let's get to editing it. All right, here we are in Lightroom. I've actually already done all my editing, and I think it would be fun to go back and kind of go through all the editing choices that I made, everything I did with these photos. These are the three, plus a fourth one I'll explain why I didn't use, three photos that I decided to use and edit. I know it looks like there is seven. There's actually three here, and I'll explain why in a minute. But basically, it was these three photos. This one, come on, Lightroom, and this one. All right, and then this one, let's load up. This one I decided not to use because as I was taking it, I didn't notice that the wind had blown the shield hand into an awkward position, and this right here just does not. I don't like the way that looks. Kind of makes it look a little janky in my opinion. But anyway, let's go to this first photo. So this is the Lightroom edit. And then if we go here, this is the Photoshop edit. After I do all my Lightroom edits, and then I took it into Photoshop and did some adjustments that I'll go over. But first, let's look at Photoshop. So, first let's look at Lightroom. So before and after, this is the raw photo as it was shot in camera. And then here are the Lightroom edits. So I'll just go panel by panel. So I use the Adobe Vivid profile. I tend to use that a lot for my action figure shots. Get a little auto white, or use this guy to do the white balance. The way I usually go through and do my my exposure editing, or getting the exposure the way I want it, is I get the whites and blacks first to kind of get the dynamic range, then fool around with the shadows and highlights, and then up the exposure after that if I need to. I add the contrast, but I do that after I go to the tone curve and add my own custom tone curve. Here, this is going for a very slight balanced S shape. And then I'll go and add a little contrast and fool around with the colors here after I see how they pop after I do the tone curve right there. So you can see I added a little bit of contrast, and I always like desaturating slightly and then only upping the vibrance if I need to. So we already talked about the tone curve right there. And then the color mixture, all I did really was boost some of the warmer colors and then lower the green and the yellows a bit to get this to be a little less prominent. And then did I do anything with luminance? Yeah, I made the green a little darker. And then in detail, I always use the masking option so that the sharpness is really only applied on these edges right here. It was shot at ISO 100, so I didn't up the sharpening that much. And then lens corrections just comes with what Lightroom does with this Canon EOS RP. And then let's go to the masks right here. So I have 3 masks. First I have the Dwarf. You know, hello, Mr. Dwarf. And what I've done with him, I've done up the shadows a little bit, gave him a little bit of contrast. You could do a curve here, but I like the global curve better for this. But more importantly, I really upped the texture and upped the clarity to bring out the details on the figure. That's the most important thing. And then for this guy, for this mask, it's to darken this side of the picture. Since we got light coming in from over here, I can kind of exaggerate that effect by darkening this right here. And then this one, this is a global background adjustment to also just desaturate, I believe. I did this a little while ago. Where are you? Oh, yeah. You know, make it a little down the texture, down the clarity, reduce the texture, reduce the clarity, and then where's color? And yeah, just desaturation a little bit. Makes a slight difference, but I like the way it comes out. You can definitely see a noticeable difference as we jump to the Photoshop version. Let's look again. This is Lightroom. This is Photoshop right here. So I'm just going to briefly look at the Photoshop adjustments I made. I hope this guy is one of the ones that's still open. No, he is not. So let's just use one of these as an example of the general process that I've been using. Well, or I could just open this. Let's do that. Edit the original. And then I can look at all the other ones as well. So first thing I do is I always make a copy of the photo, and then I add a couple of adjustments layers. One is just a color lookup. I like using the teal orange plus contrast. I think there's a good amount of contrast right there. You can see it going off and on. I always do either soft light or overlay, opacity 25%, and then I have a gradient map with some of the colors in the photo. Also soft light, this one's at 35%. I find that helps give the photo a nice unified look. And then I go in and make some local adjustments to highlights and shadows using the burn and burn and dodge tool. So you can kind of see the edges around the figure popping off and on as far as the light and the darks there, especially around these areas. And that's my general workflow right now. You can see it right here as well. The highlights and shadows adjustments, same basic adjustment layers, and the same with this guy. But anyway, that's it. That's how the final photos came out. I'll be posting these on Instagram later. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the vlog, you liked the video, and if you did, know that Nyx the Dark Lord has taken notice. All hail Nyx until shadow covers all.
Legends and Lenses.